It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It's the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name is Thomas Chick, and joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster.
Hello, all.
And Les Newman.
Hello, everybody.
How's everybody doing?
We made it.
Oh, same as usual.
Yeah.
That bad, huh? Hope everybody's doing okay out there. So, what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
Oh man. I haven't really done a lot. The baby was out of school last week, so that's
you
about
entertained a
it.
baby.
2 babies.
Watched a lot of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, a lot of Mickey Mouse. And Friday, I managed to get half the day off. So it's like, woohoo! I get to watch something other than Mickey Mouse. And I'm going to feel so stupid saying this, but I was flipping through the channels and it was like, oh wow, there's some really good scary movies on right now. Why is there so
I
many
wonder
scary
why that
movies
would
on
be.
right now? And it's like, oh my God, I have like completely forgotten about spooky season on TV. So
We have literally been
yeah.
talking about horror movies.
But I think when, because like I said, on show recording, I usually watch the show right before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it, it just didn't click. I mean, it clicked, but my brain has been like
I'm
space
teasing.
cadet,
Yeah, I'm teasing you. It's fine. It happens.
But I did manage to catch Friday. I caught Friday the 13th marathon, and then Saturday they had a Halloween marathon going on. And then Sunday, they had a Stephen King marathon going on. So it was like, yes.
Alrighty, so you're working on getting your fix now.
Right. So although I was behind on spooky season, I've watched all the stuff I normally do. The only thing I need to find now is Trick or Treat. I haven't seen it yet. So, and it's not really Halloween until you watch Trick or Treat. But I love it when they do the marathons. Really, I do, because you get to watch a lot of good movies, shebang, And if you can't, it gives you the opportunity to record those. And I know I have streaming and TV, but still, it gives you the opportunity to record those. So you can watch them whenever you want.
Mhm.
But like Friday the 13th, they played part 2. Which is great. The first time we meet Jason and see him without his mask, or he didn't even have the hockey mask in that one. But then they played Friday the 13th. What? Why didn't you play that before the second one? So I thought, okay, maybe that's just like a one-off kind of thing. But no, they turned around and they did it for Halloween. Again, they played I think it was Halloween Ends, and then they played Halloween. And they didn't even add Halloween Kills. So it's kind of like, why would you play 1 and 2 out of order, or 1 and 3 out of order, and not even play the second one in between whatever order you're playing them in? I mean, to me, out of that trilogy, the second one was the best one. It kind of gave us that Jason, or not Jason, that Michael that we all knew him to be, and he unleashed. That's what me as a fan, that's what I've been waiting to see, is just him go crazy, and he did. So it's kind of like, why would you do that? Now, the first one was good too. I really liked the approach that they took with the first one. But by the time we got to the third one, it's kind of like, you were chugging along, and then it was like, okay, Michael, who? And then they kind of shifted focus a little bit. So I wasn't a fan of the third one. I liked it as a movie, yes, absolutely. But in the trilogy, it just kind of felt like the one out from the other two. But I think COVID happened in between all of that.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
but
that's
you know,
the deal.
and I think they had too long to think about it and they overthought it.
That's
So
exactly what happened. Because
I love
apparently,
the first two.
from what I understood, the original intention, once they decided they were going to do a trilogy, it was literally going to take place overnight. So,
Yeah,
the first one literally gets up to Halloween evening. The second one is just a little bit later, and then the third one would have been the rest of Halloween night into November 1st.
yeah.
Apparently, that was the intention, but as you said, COVID hit, so they had to sit down and all that, and that's
And
when they
rethink
started
it.
kind of, and then they started rethinking the third chapter because the second one had already been done. They just
Yeah.
delayed in releasing it, and
And
then
and
and
I
then and
I would have loved to have seen a fight between Jamie Lee Curtis and the Michael in the second film. You know what I'm saying? That they had built her up to be such a badass and that she had
yeah,
learned so much and booby trapped the house. So they gave her a weakened Michael. So all this badassery that we've seen her do, she didn't really even have to do it because, you know, he'd been living in a sewer for a while and I guess was grandpa. I don't know. So to me it just kind of felt disjointed.
yeah.
I would have loved to have seen the fight like I said with the Michael in the second film and her. That would have been amazing, you know. Bloody but amazing.
Because when the second one hit streaming, if I understood correctly, they added the original ending, which was because with what we saw in the theatrical version, it ended with Michael calling Lori, and you heard the breathing, and that was it.
Yeah.
But in the streaming version, we see her pick up the knife and start going down the hallway of the hospital. She was going to go confront Michael.
Yeah.
That was the original intention. So the third movie would have opened with them battling then,
Yeah.
instead of what we got, which was the last 5 or 10 minutes of the film.
Yep. Which I liked what they were trying to do. I really did. Because if this was the end and we needed a quote new Michael, then yeah, cool. We kind of needed to see who that was. But then they killed him. So it was like, why? Why? I mean,
Because it wasn't their intention.
yeah. So I think they Blumhouse should get together with them again and maybe try to do a different kind of thing. What they were trying to do with was his name Corey? What they were
Mhm.
trying to do with him, do it in a different film. Give him I don't know. That would have been interesting, but it
I
just
mean, it's not even the first time they've done that. Remember how Howling 4 ends? Howling 4 ends with Jamie stabbing her foster mother.
yeah,
And Loomis just losing his shit because it's like, oh god, it's starting over again.
he transferred to her. Yeah. And
And
then they
and
started the next one with didn't she just attack her? She didn't kill her,
she
but
didn't.
she forgot all about it.
She just attacked her, and then she went silent, and because Mustafa Akkad just put in this whole thing of, okay, Michael can't die. Everybody wants to go see Michael, so having someone else be a new Michael, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because they learned the wrong, that maybe they didn't learn the wrong one, but they learned some lessons from Halloween 3.
Yeah.
They
Well,
think the franchise went into a lull because the film did not feature Michael. I think that's open to debate. But
yeah.
so when four comes out and it does so well, we got to keep Michael, even though we throw out a film the following year with a not even a half completed script, and it turns out to be a shit movie.
Yeah. But it was still Michael.
It's still Michael.
Yep.
He's acting more Jason than Michael, but okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. And when I'm watching these, Phil's never seen all of them, and so he's was home for that part of it, and of course I'm picking everything apart. So
I hope he hadn't seen Resurrection. You didn't show him Resurrection, did you?
I don't think no, they didn't play that one. So when
Thank
we're talking
God.
about it, because he watched the original, and when he came in on the last one, it was like, yeah, this one's kind of disjointed and blah 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 blah. Phil goes, well, isn't that the original intent that the director had when he started this? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You are not going to take my nerdage and throw it back at me. So it's like, yes, but you don't do it in the same movie, okay? But I thought that was pretty cool because it was like, wow, you actually
He
listened
was
when I
listening.
was throwing the shit out.
Hmm.
Normally it's B, and I think he's just learned to tune mom out. Unless it's something he's really curious about, then he'll listen. Phil hasn't learned that yet. But I can't get him to usually sit down longer than 15 minutes, though. So,
Well, let Phil hang out with us. He'll learn how to tune you out.
oh, he's got that part. But yeah, like I said, he hadn't seen those. So then when we were going to bed, I had those on, and he was like, "Really? You've been watching this stuff? What you said all weekend?" It's like, well, it's either Michael or SpongeBob. Surprisingly, he went with SpongeBob.
Wow.
But no, like I said, when I figured out, I think it was AMC that was doing the marathons like that. That's pretty much where the TV stayed. I didn't have to worry about what's this one about again.
Mm.
And I did lose Lacey Lou. She would not watch this with me. So
Oh,
she's just typical Lord of the Ring dog.
Hmm.
what's this noise?
If it ain't got a hobbit in it, she's out.
Yeah. It's like this just proves humans be crazy, man.
She's all about the second breakfast.
Yeah.
Fifth.
But I do think after all of the movies and stuff I watched, I'm really like the 80s slasher classic kind of person. Those are the ones that I tend to stick with.
You're just now realizing this. I could have told you this 4 years ago, Liz. Come on.
Right. Well, I mean, while I do enjoy a modern take, I kind of liked
It doesn't really
just even
replace
the
the original.
yeah, and even the way it was filmed and stuff. It was gritty and cheesy, and the effects were just god awful, but it was cool.
Right. It's what tickles your nostalgia feathers. I mean,
Right? And at the time, that was like badass,
mm.
kinda, some of it.
Well, what was
Friday the
great was great,
13th.
and what wasn't, eh.
Yeah. But
Is there one? Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there one that you hadn't seen for a long, long time that you would love to see again?
I think now that I've kind of made my peace about watching, like, I try to stay away from like religious horror just because I grew up Pentecostal in religious horror. I would actually, now that I've conquered the Conjuring, I think I'd like to go back and see like Exorcist again. That's always been kind of my what's the word? My
Achilles
no-no
heel.
movie. Yeah, just um when I watched it, we had just moved here to Dallas from Colorado and we were at a motel and my mom and dad were watching it. And so me and Michelle had taken turns actually like peeking through the door and watching pieces of the movie. I
Mm.
actually got to watch where she was actually possessed and like spinning around and everything else. Freaked me out. So I've never really gone back and given that movie a full watch. you know, Bits and pieces, but
hmm
yeah, I probably
Oh, you
probably
missed
that.
your opportunity. When was it? How long ago has it been now? I guess probably like uh, what did it been? No, it wouldn't have been 25 years. Maybe it was actually. It may have been that long ago when they actually showed it in theaters, like across the country. They like
Uh,
re-released The Exorcist. And I went then,
I think
and
they
that was
did
fun.
when they were putting out that what is it, The Exorcism of Emily Rose or
Yeah, it was kind of in the middle of a big spurt of other exorcism
yeah,
movies. I mean, there's always been exorcism movies, but still,
yeah.
mostly because of The Exorcist.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like there was a time period where it seemed like there was a bunch of them that came out
Yeah.
There was.
right around the same time.
Well, like Poltergeist and Exorcist and all that came out. And okay, now imagine you're in the 80s and your dad is a Pentecostal preacher, okay? And the little girl from The Exorcist or Poltergeist dies. And then there was like another one that was on the movie set. They also die. And
Oh yeah,
then when The
there's a
Exorcist
curse with that film.
The curse, yeah.
yeah. So of course the religious people ran with
Went
that, like
nuts. Oh yeah.
completely ran with that. And I guess at that age it's when it was pounded in my head. There's just some things you don't mess with, you know. And when you're
Right,
talking
because
about
this
the
is
devil and demons, that's kind of you don't mess
yeah,
with that.
yeah, and that was right in the heart of the Satanic Panic
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
Yep.
Poltergeist was what 81, 82, 83 maybe somewhere in there. It
um,
was early
Somewhere
80s, and
around in there.
that was
Yeah.
the heart of the Satanic Panic.
Yep.
yeah.
So
I would say 82 because I seem to vaguely remember seeing a trailer for it in front of Star Trek 2. So around that time frame.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Yep.
Um, it's a good movie. I mean, it really is. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not a classic for nothing.
I bet
So
it
it is worth
is.
checking out.
The pieces that I've seen look really good. And like I
And
said,
I
by watching The Conjuring, this is crazy, but Lorraine and whatever her husband's name is, Warren,
Ed.
Ed, actually, when I lived in Colorado in a Pentecostal church, they actually came through there at one
hmm
point. And we got to meet them and I was a little kid, of course, but so when those movies came out, it was kind of like, huh, I'd heard their stories personally. So
hmm
watching the movies and things, it was like, well, they do mess with some things, but they
Oh,
don't.
they're movied up a bit. Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
but they don't get into the what I would consider like the blasphemy stuff.
Sure.
So I was able to enjoy those. And That's why I was saying Exorcist probably isn't that bad, but I was like 10 when I first saw it, so it probably wasn't a good age to watch that kind of
Right, not by a long shot. And it'll make more sense seeing it the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the whole thing I mean, not seeing bits and pieces of it, because that can skew your take on it. I mean, seeing the whole
Yeah,
thing from beginning to end will make a big difference.
yeah. So I guess with those two, with Jason and Michael, I mean, sure, we have sick people in the world, but they're not really believable. You know what I'm saying? How often does a guy on Halloween night? So I find a different,
Yeah, there's a
I don't know.
suspension of disbelief there.
Yeah,
Um,
but then when they start
you'll
talking about
you'll
God and, fuck God, and it's like, whoa, whoa.
now and there are people who do that every day anyway, but
Right,
I
but
mean, it's
yeah,
also clear that there's something weird happening there.
yeah.
And I mean, the character, the little girl in The Exorcist, her name is Reagan, and something's clearly wrong with her. And it's very obvious. I won't say from the beginning, but it doesn't take long. And I mean, she doesn't look like a normal kid.
Hmm.
So they're doing kind of their part to monster her up. I'm not sure exactly how to express what I'm getting at, but
I get it though, what you're
that
saying. Yeah,
right. It's not like there's just this little 12-year-old girl saying all of this stuff. I mean,
yeah.
it's very obviously there's something else, and it's not natural. And I hope that makes it easier to swallow.
Oh, yeah,
It
for
makes it easier
sure.
to make the distinction between just somebody being an asshole and
Yeah,
anti-religious versus because I mean that they don't the movie doesn't disrespect the religion aspect of what's going on. The demon does, but that's the
right,
demon. And
right. And
I
the
think
whole
maybe that's
reason
where I'm
why
getting
the
at is
religious people are there.
right. And
Right.
they're actually fairly God, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember it being not abusive toward the religion.
And
I mean, whether the process worked or
exorcisms,
not, that leave that up. Yeah,
right. And exorcisms are not a pretty thing. I mean, they're not. So, unfortunately, I've seen those. So, it I don't know. I guess for me it's a little close to home, and it's kind of one of those,
sh-
you don't.
sure. And again, I think I'm hoping that that I'm blanking on her name. What's her name?
Linda Blair.
Linda Blair.
Yeah.
She's got enough makeup on her that it's obviously. I mean, I have not witnessed a real life exorcism, but I'm guessing that the target did not look like Linda Blair made up for that movie.
Right.
So I'm hoping that will draw the reality line for you. I'm hoping,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and of course,
and it might not,
as
and I
an
might be
adult
wrong. I
and
don't know,
stuff,
but
I definitely know the difference, but
sure.
yeah. I said that was just always one of those, no, you don't need to watch this. And then it was crazy because we found our parents watching it, so it was like, hmm.
Well, and there could have been any number of reasons why they were doing that, but
Oh, yeah,
sure.
because it was a good movie.
Well, that's one possible reason, yes.
Yeah. But
But
I
there are
think
others. But
even during the 80s slasher times, I remember sitting on the couch and watching that kind of thing with my parents. They'd cover your eyes when boobies came out, so Friday the 13th, half the time your eyes were covered.
Mhm.
You know, but I think like you were saying though, even they knew that we knew this wasn't real, you know.
Right.
And especially when I got into, wow, I wonder how they made the blood do that, you know. What are they using for blood? So I was more of picking it apart and seeing how things were working
And I
than
think you'll
really he
and
killed
I
this
think you'll
guy.
find The Exorcist is interesting in that regard too.
Yeah,
If you're
especially
if you even if
time
you just
period.
watch it just for because I mean it was way before
Hmm.
that. It was 73,
Yeah.
way before. So yeah, you watching it legitimately just focusing on the special effects, you'll pick up the story as you go. I mean, you know the story for one,
Yeah,
and you'll pick up you'll following the story I think will be interesting. But yeah, even if you can just if it gets uncomfortable, just focus on how the special effects appear to be working, and maybe that'll get you through too.
yeah.
Because it's interesting too. It's well done.
Hmm. Well, and I like
I mean,
things
that's part of how it
that
freaked
kind of
people out.
question what you believe, you know. I watched that
Right.
one,
Because you're
what was it called, Heretic? That was interesting. I have a friend who, I won't say atheist, but maybe agnostic. And he was like, you
right.
need to see this. You just need to watch this. It was
Interesting.
interesting. You know, it was very interesting. And like I said, I like things that kind of question or challenge what you believe too. You know, I'm not one to say that I would never change my opinion on things or, you know, but I also
Sure.
believe that if you take a stand, you have to know what you're standing for. And if you don't know, you know, what the other side is, then how do you know
Then
what
you
you're taking
don't
a
really
stand
know,
for?
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what I always tried to stress to my parents. I wasn't satanic, but I did want to read the Bible. You know, I was curious. Why is that bad?
Right.
What's
What's the
different?
difference?
Yeah,
Hmm.
you know, I'm not reading it to learn about it. I guess I was, but not to be it, you
Not to
know.
use it, right?
Right. But if you're going to take a stand, you got to know what you're standing for. So,
Yeah, I think you'll find that in life, not everybody believes that. But anyway,
no, unfortunately. Well, and I guess too, not to be funny, I think that's where my ADD comes in because I'm always questioning everything.
hmm,
So that's kind
Nothing
of
wrong with
opened
that.
my mind a lot too, you know.
it's a factor.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I've been doing is horror movies. So if you guys see that Trick or Treat is on, let me know. I definitely, like I said, I definitely need to watch that one for the season. And I heard that was actually going to get a remake, or not a remake, but a sequel. And we'll find out a little
How do
bit
you,
more about Sam.
how
So,
do you, how do you make a sequel of that movie? I mean, I guess I say that it wouldn't really be that hard.
mm-mm. No,
It's
but I
basically
think,
just vignettes anyway.
hmm but I think it's going to be more on him because we saw him and he was in every story, but we didn't know really what he was or anything. So that
Right.
would be kind of neat. And then sometimes that can ruin things because,
Yeah.
Right. That's the
That's what I
you
was
trouble.
know,
about to say.
sometimes that's the fun of it.
Hmm.
He was a little trick or treat dude. Like killed everyone, but he was cute. I try to pet him.
Wow.
That's my thoughts exactly.
Yeah, pat his little head.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'd be swinging from a tree. I know.
Just give him candy. It'll be fine.
But after watching all of the 80s horror, I know I definitely would survive a serial killer. Just say. Some of them just be stupid. It's like you're hiding, but why the hell are you screaming too? You think he's deaf?
Huh?
Oh. He can just see you. He can't hear you. And even that sometimes it's like, really? That's where you're going to hide? Not me. My ass would still be chugging down the road. Bye. I'm out of here.
That's Alicia.
Yep. See you later. Maybe. Trip a few of you on the way out. Yeah, I'm good.
I don't have to outrun him. I just have to outrun you.
Yep. Make it till morning. That's all you got to do.
Cardio. It's
Yep.
all about cardio.
And I guess they just like disappear with the sun, Oof. They're gone.
Sometimes.
Okay, Mikey.
Well, all right then.
Follow that.
No. We sat there and had a nice little conversation about a movie that's way better than the one I watched for this week. So, but that was to be expected. I did manage to cram in a movie this week. And this movie, don't mistake the title for anything. The title of this movie is The Vampires Night Orgy. It is a Spanish film from 1973. I just stumbled across it on Tubi. And for that matter, I will mention early that the dub for it for the version on Tubi is actually pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. And it is the story. Well, to claim it has a story would be a bit of a stretch. But so anyway, there's a bus full of people driving through the mountains, and they all have their own. It's the typical lots of different people in a space, different stories, different things happening, different times of their life, all that weird shit. And they're tooling along in this bus, and the bus driver keels over dead while he's driving up the mountain. So a couple of the
Just saying, high point of their visit.
Right.
Well, it certainly livened things up there for a couple of minutes until a couple of the passengers could like grab him and pull him out of the seat and then like jump in there and stop the bus. And then try to figure out who can actually drive the thing. It wasn't a huge bus or anything, but still. And so they just sort of head onward because it's just a mountain road. It's not like there's any place they can go. And they get to a fork in the road and they're like, okay, so if we go left, we get to a town pretty quickly in a couple of miles. If we go right, that's the direction we're supposed to go, but we're not really sure how to get there and anything, and if there's turns or whatever. So they go the short version. They go to the nearest town basically. And they get there and they don't see anybody. It's like early evening when they get there. Nobody in this town. It's like completely deserted. They walk into the hotel and there's like food and stuff. I mean, so people live there, but there's nobody around. And so they kind of help themselves and find rooms. And the next morning they get up and there's people there, of course. It was just temporarily abandoned. Turns out they had some sort of thing happening at the cemetery that night that's the story they gave. The mayor shows up, and because it's a small town, he shows up. He's talking to them. There's apparently also a countess, and it doesn't take long for people to start getting picked off. And it's kind of subtle at first that the one guy disappears, and content warning here. There is a very strong inference of cannibalism in this movie.
Yay.
I won't go into any details, and they don't prove any. They don't like admit it or prove it. I mean, okay, so the finger in the one girl's plate was kind of a giveaway, but it wasn't obvious that was the main course. But so yeah, and as time goes, people start getting picked off. There's kind of a main guy, and then kind of the main girl, and it starts off a little their relationship starts off. They're not there together. They came separately, but they starts off on a creepy note because he's actually peeping on her through a hole in the back of the wardrobe while she's changing clothes a couple of times. But they end up actually kind of working together, and they're the ones who, spoiler alert for 50 some odd year old movie, they escape the town. There is actually after that still a twist that actually makes this movie kind of interesting. I mean, it's reasonably well done throughout, the whole picking people off and some of the townsfolk, how they act and what they do. And the Countess is kind of an interesting character, and the mayor's fun. So it's actually worth checking out. Like I said, the dub on Tubi is pretty good, so I'm not going to recommend try to find a better dub. There probably isn't one, honestly. So yeah, it's fun. It's good. It was good. I was surprised at it.
That's cool.
Interesting.
The Vampires Night Orgy. There are no orgies. No orgies were harmed in the making of this film.
That's what crossed my mind.
Night orgy as opposed to a daytime orgy for vampires.
Well, there are other connotations for the word orgy. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I understand.
And this is not the one that you're used to. Again, I'm trying not to give too much away. It's a fun movie. It should be watched.
I think that film was on one of those lists I post on Discord. It
sounds familiar. Might have been. That might be why it was on my watch list, because I put it there because of that. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't go back to check lists to see. But yeah, it could very well have been.
Yeah, because it sounds kind of familiar. Their premise. So, cool. Glad you liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
That's what I got.
Okay. Les?
I saw a couple of movies this week. First one was Bloodsport. And Bloodsport. No.
Oh, different Bloodsport.
Different Bloodsport. This one starred Ross Hagen, if anybody remembers him.
He sounds familiar.
He made a lot of B movies, and in this one, he is the father of the star pitcher of the traveling women's softball team. This is a story of the women's softball team playing a team from some little town, and they defeat, and I'm not going to, it's not a big spoil. They defeat the locals who are out to get blood then. They want to go and hunt the players down. And it's one of those movies of who gets the last shot type situation.
So like the Bad News Bears combined with the Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
That scares me,
crossed
but
my
okay.
mind, but yeah. I thought it was fun. It was about an hour and a half of killing and hunting and all that stuff. Then Ross Hagen, I don't remember anybody that was in the movie. The second movie I watched was Something Today. This was a Christopher Lee movie with Sybil Danning, and what really drew me to this movie was Reb Brown. So,
Howling II?
huh?
Howling II? What's the
Yeah,
name of the film?
yep, you're right. Howling II, Your Sister's a Vampire. That's the name of it.
I didn't remember Red Brown, but that's the only film I remember that has Christopher Lee and Sybil Danning.
This is a movie that I recommend because it's so freaking stupid.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but yeah.
It looked like the vampires involved were not affected by daylight, for one. People were wearing sunglasses indoors. It, such a stupid premise, but it was worth the watch. There is a scene or two that would cause irritation by uh, the very vocal right. Yeah, recommend this because it is so stupid. And of course, they have to fight the vampires, or I'm sorry, not vampires, werewolves. And it was interesting because the transformations were not bad. They didn't do a lot of. I don't think they did any CGI for this. So, unlike movies like American Werewolf in London or American Werewolf in Paris, this one was something that was pulled off by the talents of the makeup guys.
Yeah, it's all practical. All practical effects.
Yeah. So it gets my seal to watch.
Your seal of approval?
I think you might have given him a headache.
Ouch. Ouch. No, it's on. I think it's on Tubi. It's on several other formats. I watched it on Prime because then I would only have 1 or 2 commercials. So this was stupid, but it was well worth the time.
I haven't seen the first one in forever.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah,
think they
me
show
either.
the first one. I don't think they show the first one hardly ever.
and this is kind of a spin-off of that one
Mm-hmm.
because they actually talk about the character in the first one.
Yeah. You all this character, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah.
That's
Cool.
all I got.
All right.
Fun.
It is.
Well, for me, I finished up all the movies that we'll be talking about. I went ahead and watched the one that we'll be talking about next week.
Mm.
And of course, still doing kind of the body cams. I made some notes because there was ones I really wanted to point. I really wanted to bring to everybody's attention because I was like, oh my god.
Hit me.
Okay, well, the first one I want to talk about is a drunk driver. She was driving 62 in a 40. And the officer says, "Okay, well, where are you coming from?" She says, "St. Pete." "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going home in Tampa." He says, "Are you sure?" She says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, you're in Clearwater, so you're actually going in the opposite direction."
Oh, good.
And that's the highlight of the cam. She's driving the wrong direction.
Nice.
How do you explain that?
Yeah.
You
So,
know,
he did say drunk.
yeah.
True.
And okay, number 2, another drunk woman, and this happens here in Texas. I don't remember what I think it was a small I think it was a small name town, but I don't a small town, but I don't remember the name of it. Happens in a Walmart. This drunk woman offers $250,000 to buy another woman's baby.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
That is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What?
So that's why the police were got involved. The thing is, she kept on. I mean, she followed the mother into the parking lot and was wanting to buy the baby. Like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
You can buy a lot of stuff at Walmart. Human
Not a
children
baby.
is not one of the things you can buy at Walmart.
Nope.
They're very adamant about that.
Uh, Another video which was a compilation of stalkers, which is scary, but this one makes absolutely no sense. She calls police. She happens to be in the dude's car. She tells the police, "I want him to take me home." Well, the officers go, well, we can take you home. It'd be no problem. We can do that. "I don't want you to do that because he'll follow us and he'll know where I live and God knows what he'll do." I'm like, but you're wanting to take him home, take you home. He'll know where you live if he takes you home. What the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
What am I hearing? This makes no sense. My head's about to explode.
Wow.
Wow. Yes.
Just wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Another one. Uber driver calls the police. Says, I'm canceling this transaction. She needs to get out of my car. She's just being a pain in the butt. And she's like, I want to press charges. He's speeding. It's like, okay, well, if you have a problem with him, get out of the car. Well, I'm not going to get out of the car. Like, what?
I paid for this.
I canceled it, so I got a refund. So you'll get a refund. Okay, well, give me my refund now. Like, you pay by credit card. What do you want him to do? Pull cash out of his pocket to give you? No, it ain't gonna be. They wound up taking her to jail.
Right.
What else was there?
You can't fix stupid.
No, you can't.
You can't. Nope.
You can, but that's illegal too.
And it's not sold at Walmart.
Not at all. No.
A young lady
What?
who's at the airport has a later flight. She's wanting to see if she can get an earlier flight. Well, the app will not let her do it. Well, there's a reason why. The one she wants to get on is about to leave. She says, well, fuck it. She decides to go on, try to get on the plane anyway. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Here comes the police. Let's take you to jail. Bye.
Yeah, they don't fuck around with airplanes anymore.
No, they don't.
Well, and she didn't understand. She was like, I was trying to get an earlier flight. Yeah, but you can't get this one. Everybody's been boarded. It's about to leave. You can't get on it. How come you can't understand that? But the final one, the one that got me to laugh for a good long time, involving an auto theft and in a chase, and in the particular dash cam we're watching, the officer we're watching gets out and nabs one of the perpetrators, and of course she's like, well, I didn't know what they were doing. They picked me up. Okay, whatever. Gets handcuffs on her, gets her into the car, and you hear that he's been playing music. Anyone want to guess what the song that was playing when she was being thrown in the back of the car?
Ipanema.
What? What'd you say, Les?
Girl from Ipanema.
Oh, okay. No, close though. Not really close, but
Right.
thanks for playing. How about Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson?
Oh, you can't script that.
Yeah. It was so perfect. I was just like, oh God. I just could not stop laughing.
That's pretty good.
Because I started hearing them like, that's Smooth Criminal. How funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on that note, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll be back with this week's discussion. Welcome back. We're currently in Horror Month, and we are continuing our foray into the cinematic tales of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And this week's offering is also from Hammer Films, like last week's Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. But this one is from 1971, titled Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. with Ralph Bates and Martine Beswick. This is our second film with Martine Beswick. Y'all realize that?
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about her in one of the Scarecrow films.
Yes, we did.
Hmm.
The one that icked everybody out.
Yep. So, and of course, Martine
Not
Beswick.
because of Martine Beswick, of course.
No. And Martine Beswick may be familiar to you if you're a Bond fan, because she is one of the few actors that have appeared in more than one film.
Mm-hmm.
She played Paula, his assistant in Thunderball, and she was one of the gypsy women that were fighting over the leader's son in From Russia with Love. Yep.
Yep.
So let's talk a little Dr. Jekyll, Sister Hyde. What are you guys' thoughts of this film?
I didn't like this one as much as the other ones we've watched. While I appreciate it's a different spin, it just didn't make sense to me.
Why is that?
I know that he tried to explain, I guess it was a spider he had at the beginning. And the guy was like, "No, it was a male." And he's like, "No, or it was a
Would
female."
lay
And
eggs.
It was a it
yeah,
was a fly.
so that's when he figured, but I didn't understand how that changed in him. And then after he drank it, I only saw him drink twice. And it seemed like every other time she appeared was from the ring. So what did he do to the ring?
There was enough of it in the system to where the changes would just happen. I mean,
Right, and that's been a common theme in a lot of these.
That happened in the last certainly the last one.
He doses a few times and then the change just starts happening on its own. The ring was just there as the ring was there as a visual guide to the viewer, to the watchers of the movie, so that it was basically more obvious that they were the same person.
Right.
That's all the ring really was. It was just that. Other than that, it was just big and gaudy.
Yeah. Big and gaudy, but nobody seemed to notice it.
Right. It was there. Yeah, it wasn't there for anybody to see other than us as the viewers.
Right.
Which was its own special brand of awkward. But anyway. And I honestly, I kind of agree with you, but I think I agree with you for different reasons. This movie could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
I like Ralph Bates. I really do. And he did an okay job in this movie. I think this movie would have benefited greatly by a whole lot more Martine Beswick.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Sure.
What I would have liked to have seen, because they got a little creative, well, quote unquote creative, with the Jekyll and Hyde story by adding elements of both Jack the Ripper and Burke and Hare. The Burke and Hare thing annoyed me because, and this is the historical purist in me, I think. This is my particular brand of nerddom shining. I will grant them that Jack the Ripper was in the same time frame as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Burke and Hare happened like 50 or 60 years before that. So it was completely out of place in history to be in this movie. What I would have liked to have seen, what would have fixed this movie for me, is if they had taken everything that Burke and Hyde did in this movie and let Martine Beswick do it. It would have put her in the movie a lot more. It would have made her a more sinister character. which would have given us the contrast, as opposed to the absolute weirdness of Jack the Ripper being Henry Jekyll.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, folks. I did not particularly like that angle. I think it would have been more interesting to make Mrs. Hyde Jack the Ripper. And you don't need Burke and hair at that point. If you're
Yeah.
going to tie those two together, do it right. Do it right. Damn it. Make the bad guy, as opposed to us getting about 14 minutes of Martine Beswick's screen time because she wasn't in the movie enough.
She wasn't. And this is the first time that a Dr. Jekyll has introduced the Jack the Ripper storyline into it, right?
Probably that would require some research because
Yeah.
there've been so many versions of this movie. I mean, honestly, this movie is the third version of Jekyll and Hyde that Hammer did.
Yeah.
We didn't even watch the first one. I am actually looking up the first one. I am interested because it's actually allegedly a comedy. So it might be interesting. It's called The Ugly Duckling. It was it was in 1959.
See, I hadn't connected the third one, but when the Jack the Ripper came into the story, it was kind of a At first, my thought was this is too close to Jack the Ripper, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
I'm not thrilled
confused me.
about being
It
someone who has studied Jack the Ripper in the past. I wasn't thrilled about the addition here either. But damn it, if you're going to do it right and use the characters you're building here for that and do it correctly, because there's no reason. I mean, I don't want to. My point is not that Henry Jekyll should be a saint. I mean, Lord knows he's not. Even the Spencer Tracy version wasn't actually a saint.
Yeah.
But to make him a straight up murderer like that, especially when allegedly you've got Burke and Hare here to do his damn dirty work for him to begin with, why? Why do you need to do both of those things?
Yeah.
Both of those things is too much. And you've got Mrs. Hyde sitting over here doing practically nothing in this movie. That frustrated me.
Except for look sexy.
Martine Beswick is better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Use her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She
as
deserved
opposed
better.
to just letting her be eye candy.
Naked. Yep.
She really only got naked, okay, technically twice.
Twice.
Neither scene was very long.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it theoretically wasn't worth it. I mean, let her do the other stuff. I don't need her to be naked.
Yeah.
Now, for her to be conniving and evil, that sounds like fun. Let's do that. If we're gonna murder women, let's let her do it.
Well, and see, and I kind of liked that though, because her approach to it, well, his approach to it was, they're looking for a man. Why didn't he kill all of them as a woman? I
Right,
mean,
it's the smart move.
Yeah, because like he said, but not only that, when the victims, come along, they actually felt more comfortable with a woman. I mean, even in today's times, but you just feel more comfortable. Well, this person isn't going to kill me, no offense, but with a man, late at night, you don't know. That would be the first thought, even if it's a cop that enters your mind,
Right, and it makes it that much more sinister.
Yeah.
Which is
because that whole comfort zone is dropped down,
Right, you're violating that comfort zone. I mean, which is a much tighter comfort zone than otherwise it would be.
Yeah, because that girl even told her, "Be careful," Oh,
right,
it's just a woman.
She warned her.
Yeah, it's just a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I I would have liked that too, for her to be the complete villain in this. The way
Hmm.
that Hyde was supposed to be, right?
I mean, there are
Hyde supposed
variations
to be the
all over the
bad
place, but
version
right, he's supposed to be the evil half, broken out,
from the
unfettered.
totally good. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Why not
I'm
run
with
with it?
you on that. I would have liked to have seen that too. It would have been shocking. There's not
Right.
a lot of female serial killers. Even today,
It
there's
would have
not a lot of female serial killers.
added layers of shock and horror to this.
Mhm.
But don't show us that till the very end and then reveal it's been her this whole entire time. Hyde was clueless, or Jekyll was clueless. It's been her. The crazy woman.
Well, and that's how it often ends. That's how these movies have mostly ended so far anyway, is the Hyde ends
Yeah,
up essentially winning to some extent. And
yeah,
some of them are a little more overt than others about it, but I mean, I'm also not sure how I felt about the rooftop chase scene.
yeah.
Um,
And he even told her, "You're gonna kill
It
us."
was,
Oh no, no, and then blam, let's go. Yeah, you killed us, bitch.
yep, you sure did.
I could have done that.
Hmm.
Now everybody sees our Two-Face.
it's funny when I was watching that sequence, I was getting flashbacks to the Jack Palance Jack the Ripper movie we watched a couple years back because it
The
was
lodger.
the lodger because it was like it's the same damn thing.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, honestly, that's a relatively common trope,
Well, true,
is to
true.
have the running around on the rooftops thing and then falling to their death. That's, oh my God, that's happened in so many movies.
Yeah, I know,
Can't even
Yeah.
but
count them.
still,
But
but
yeah,
it just seemed more obvious this time than
Now, if you're
than
trying to commit
normal.
suicide
hmm,
and you accidentally fall, is that still suicide or was it an accidental fall?
Yes,
that's an
Because it's
extremely
weird.
complicated question. I think I think there's a lot of factors there.
Yeah,
Um, I think in the case of this movie, I think we straight up count it as a suicide
right. Well, and if he
because it's
wanted
too
to commit
complicated to call it a
suicide,
murder.
then why try to hang on?
Well, in this case, because there's two people in there. One of them is trying
Hanging
not to die, and the other one is trying to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other one is trying. One of them is trying to murder the other, and
right.
the one that's the murderer is trying not to die. And if that foot race had taken place at ground level, there would be no chance of anybody dying. And so you'd have had to have the cops show up and club them because it's
Hmm.
London and they don't shoot people in London apparently, which is historically bullshit. But anyway,
They
that's
blow
a different
whistles
show.
at him.
Right.
That'll stop them. Don't make me pull my whistle.
Yep. I have a bunch of peelers all over the place.
Not even a dog, just a whistle.
Yep.
Hmm.
Just blow a whistle, bunch of cops come running
With more whistles.
with more whistles. Yeah, of course. Goes without saying.
Yeah. Safety in numbers.
Hmm. That was the whole plan. That was Sir
Yeah.
Robert Peel's plan from the beginning. Cops everywhere.
Mhm.
Personally, I did not care for this movie. because it
No.
strayed so far from the original idea of Jekyll and Hyde by not posing it as good versus evil. In the previous movies we've seen, they were all set in an instance where Jekyll was trying to show that there was a difference between evil and good.
Mm-hmm.
This just tossed it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where
What
I
was
had a
his
problem with it.
experiment?
He was trying to extend life.
He was
Okay.
Yeah, he was trying
That's
to. It was an immortality play, and he was doing it through harvesting female hormones
Yeah.
somehow, or some hormone gland. He had to kill the women to get it, of course, and he was using that to make whatever serum he made. That's why it was turning males into females. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of fantasy involved here, but
right. So he was
just a
saying
bit.
that females live longer than men do.
Well,
I think that was
no,
part of his argument. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
because he was talking about the fact that women look younger, and where men don't, and they would lose hair and all that type of stuff. So that was his reasoning.
Mm-hmm. And so he was trying to distill that to add years and years and years of life. And all he managed to do was turn himself into Martine Beswick, which not necessarily a
Hey,
failure. I'm just saying.
he should have been happy and stopped.
Right?
Hey, baby.
That he had to start out
One man
killing women to
show.
get the stuff is what pulled it so far away from the story, because in this, I mean, and I think Les's point is, in this story, Jekyll was not the good guy because he was out there killing women.
He was. Yep.
In harvest, the
Mhm.
harvest, the hormones that he needed for the serum.
Which, granted, slides right into that Jack the Ripper motive thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
So,
when Miss Hyde started doing it, it's the same expertise. So I mean,
yep,
yeah,
it's still
I agree
still
with
him
you.
doing
It should have been Hyde that was doing all the killings. I agree totally
Yep.
with you on that.
Yep. That would have been
Um,
interesting.
He could have gotten enough to start with from cadavers,
yeah.
just from the local morgue, and that would have been fine. And then,
Like
Well,
he was doing.
I mean, he started that, and then he got grave robbers, which I don't know about you guys, but I did not realize that the blind guy until they actually made it clear that the blind guy was actually one of the grave robbers that
yeah,
got punished.
that was a little weird.
Yeah, because they kept showing him a lot in the beginning. I'm like, okay, this is starting to bug me. Why are you making this blind guy so
Present.
important?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I
Between
mean, he's
that,
not even good at pinball, so it's
right.
kind of pointless.
And the other thing that was really getting on my nerves is I was going to let that go. But that's fine. What was her name? Susan, the love interest, who kept butting in.
She was
Yeah.
Just
annoying.
always annoying as fuck.
I mean, he wouldn't even talk to her or have dinner with her, and she was upset because he had another girl there. I mean, it was himself, but she was, I mean, it was like, honey, you've never been on a date with, he hasn't even talked to you. I mean, where's this rage
Yeah.
coming from?
Right.
Stalker.
Yeah, it's a little dramatic.
I thought she was going to be his victim when he needed more.
Probably
And
what
then
happened.
And then as the movie went on, you started hoping more and more that she was going
Yeah.
to be a victim.
And then
but
when
it never
Hyde
turned out
tried to
that way.
kill her, it was like, damn, so close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she
It's so
was,
far away.
that was just desperate. It was desperate. And it was cringe desperate. Especially
It
when there at
was.
the end when she was beating on the door. Please. It's like, honey, respect yourself.
He's
You should have
he's
never
not
walked
into
down the
you, all
stairs.
right?
Yeah, right? It's not him, it's you. Yeah.
Right.
You,
I
you
mean, it's
have to
him
have it.
too, but
You
yeah.
have to have it on a neon sign to make it clear. I mean, come on, what the hell?
Yeah.
Mm,
It's
I mean,
fine.
at least Miss Hyde had like made out with the other guy, but
her brother, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
So
Susan's
it was
brother.
kind of I understood that obsession more than, you know. So when she's like, "Oh, he's going to win," it's like, no, you already won because you were on the couch with homeboy there.
Mm-hmm.
Girl upstairs would never even take her gloves off in his presence. So you won. No
Yep.
competition. Yeah, it was a different movie for sure.
It was, and it was, yeah. Like I said, for me, the disappointing part was that it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was potential there, but
It was,
it was missed.
Especially from
it
Hammer.
was, it did,
Yeah.
right. It just missed the mark. I wish it was better, but it just kind of wasn't.
Yep.
Would you recommend it?
No. I would recommend the others that we've watched first. Maybe as a set to watch, but like you guys have pointed out, it's not really even a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of story. It's more of a, I don't know.
It's a mishmash of other stuff,
Yeah,
and
it's not a,
so I mean, as much as I hate to not recommend a Hammer flick, I'm not sure I can recommend this for what it is.
Yeah.
And even as a
has,
standalone whatever, I mean, I'm still not sure. I think there's a little too much mishmash in there. I don't
he
think it
has
makes
too
enough
many other
sense.
good ones to recommend that one.
Yeah.
There's too many good versions.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they hadn't seen Hammer films before. No.
Right. Don't start them with
Don't
this.
start there.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I hate to do that because I thought Martine was fine.
Amazing.
What she
Yeah.
did was really good, but there
Yes.
was just nowhere near
The-
enough of it.
Oh
No.
God, yes. It was
That's where they missed their mark.
criminal.
They should have used
It
her
was
more.
and it's funny with it being a Hammer film, the TNA studio.
Yeah, for 71, this was a really tame
Yeah.
movie in terms of TNA. Really tame.
Because even nudity, it was what, her boobs twice?
And her butt.
Yeah, and only for a couple of seconds. And yeah, the
Yeah.
peeling off the whatever to just the full backside nudity. I mean, that was, but all of these things were so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably 20 seconds total.
you find any other Hammer film in 1971, and you're going to get a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
And something else, I hate to point it out, but it seemed like the girl singing.
I thought she
It's
was
like
gonna die.
I thought they were setting
So
her
did
up
I,
to be a victim.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Because they were showing too much of her for her not to what?
In the grand scheme of things, it was nothing.
Nothing.
Well, they wrote the song for the movie, so they had to get it into the movie.
I get that.
They
And
kept
again,
repeating it.
we're
What
back to that
background
again.
music's
Yeah,
for.
but background music doesn't sell records in the
Yeah.
1960s and 1970s.
And not only that, for her to have such a beautiful voice, why did they have to make her look homeless?
I mean, I think part of that is emphasizing that it was a poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just straight
It's
up.
West-
I mean,
it's West
Whitechapel,
Chapel.
Whitechapel was a low income neighborhood, which
And
is
that's why
why
those people were like,
which
shut the
contributed
window.
right, which is why the people were so paranoid, and which is why Jack the Ripper,
Was
or
killing there.
part of why he got away with it
Yeah.
the way he did.
All the
Because there were
blind
four
eyes.
people, and who cares?
Right, they
Yeah.
were all prostitutes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. I really thought they were going to lead something with her, like possibly
Yeah.
being a victim, but it's like no.
Or love
The first half of the
interest
film,
or
she's in there
something.
so much of it, and then she disappears. And like, oh, okay, all right, well, that was a thing.
Yeah.
He sang the
Maybe
same
she was
song.
supposed to be.
Hmm. Over and over again.
Yeah.
Or she was dating the director at the time.
I mean,
We've
who
seen it
knows?
happen
But
in films. We have.
my research didn't go quite that deep, but anyway.
I thought that was a Burton thing.
Oh,
Ooh.
Burton and Zombie does it. What was that? I can't say his last name. Shamalama Ding Dong. Um, the horror
Shyamalan?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had his daughter in one. Yeah.
Oh, we don't even want to
Oh.
go down the daughter road, because then we get to talk about Dario Argento, and that shit just gets creepy real fast. He had his
Like,
daughter in lots of movies, and she was really naked a lot of the time.
oh, wow.
So anyway, for real,
Yeah.
look it up.
Sometimes it just needs to be left out of Hollywood, you know?
Well, he wasn't in Hollywood,
You
but
love them, but
still,
we
that
don't
was a
have
Europe
to.
thing,
Yeah.
right? You love your child, but you don't have to be so damn creepy about it.
Right.
Anyway,
So I guess this is a no for us.
Yeah.
I can't recommend
Unless
this
you're
one.
doing a theme night, you know,
Or a
and need
Hammer
an extra
completionist
hour and
thing.
a half. Yeah.
Right. I'm willing to bet there are several better Jekyll and Hyde movies out there that we haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw one posted, Dr. Jekyll and the Werewolf.
Be interesting.
Okay.
You know,
Right. Maybe a little
crazy that
crossover,
it
but something not so
sounds
specific.
crazy, but I that sounds familiar for some reason.
Sure, it sounds familiar to you.
Well, like Dr. Demento would play a lot of crazy movies, and on Saturdays they would play like the B movies with Killer Tomatoes and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm saying. It kind
Right.
of
And you get all
vaguely
the
sounds
horror hosts
familiar.
like Svengoolie, and I mean,
Yeah.
as far back as Elvira and all the, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably saw something similar to that, or even that. Who knows?
In the movie. Yeah.
Hmm.
That'd be neat though. I crazy, but I like the Bugs Bunny one where he does the whole
Absolutely.
Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Hmm.
That was pretty
That
cool.
is primo.
Yep.
That is a great cartoon.
And
Hide
kind
and
of
Hair,
nailed
it's
the
called.
story. Yeah.
Early
Which I
50s,
think
if
they've
I remember
done
correctly.
a couple of versions of, the Hyde Jekyll thing, but that one in particular where they actually made him the monster was really cool.
Yep.
And then I think another one he had carrots or something, but Looney Tunes tackling classics.
Looney Tunes for the win.
Yep. I think my first
That's
exposure of
what's
classical music was Looney Tunes when they
could
did
be
the whole kill the rabbit.
the Rabbit of Seville.
Mhm. And after that, it was Fantasia.
And there was another one. There was actually another one. Rabbit of Seville was, yeah, the Barber of Seville to kill the rabbit. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of that cartoon, but yeah, it was the one Elmer Fudd and it was based on the Nibelungenlied, the Ring series, Wagner. That's what it was based on. I can't remember. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name of that one. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, and Fantasia.
Hmm.
All right. On that note, we are going to take a quick break and come back with geek news for you. And we're back, and it's time for geek news for you. In this segment, we bring a couple of news items to the table for discussion. This week it is Mikey and myself. And Mike, would you go first, please, sir?
Oh, sure. So this might be a little bit of a different deal than we usually do. But screw it. I think this should be interesting. So we're recording this on the 21st. And so today is the day that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 released. It is, if you are not familiar, it is a video game based loosely on the Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game. It's actually a sequel to the first Bloodlines game, which came out. Oh God, I'm not even sure when it came out. It's been a while. Okay, the article actually says more than 2 decades. So there we are, something like 2003.
2004.
There you go. I was close.
Yeah, you was.
Did you know that, or did you look it up?
I mean, I'm looking at it.
Okay, I was curious.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No, I didn't know that. I mean, yes, I did.
Totally knew that. Yeah, played the crap out. Oh, it does. There's where it says 2004. I see it now. But yeah, and so this is a game that has essentially been in development hell for like 10 years, which is why it's just now coming out. And I don't if it. I guess a little backstory: Vampire the Masquerade as a game is essentially I don't remember. I don't think I ever actually directly played it, but I followed it back in the day because it was interesting because it was, if not a diceless role-playing game, it was nearly diceless. It was mostly a role-playing game. It was stories built around the concept of a social structure of vampires, usually in some city. I believe in this game it's Seattle. I was actually watching a streamer friend of mine, play it for the first time today for a little while. It was funny. She was getting annoyed because there wasn't enough action, but I'm like, did you not know what you were getting into here? I mean, come on. I could have told you. I didn't know this was coming out, and I could have told you what it was. I mean, you're going through. You do get to tear people up like a vampire if you want to. There are places where there's combat. You're fighting things and eating people and having a grand old time. But the original game, and by extension, this to a certain extent, is like I said, social based. It's based on working your way through an underground society in a major city. And so I think it's going to be a game that's not going to fit the mold all that well. And so I'm thinking, I mean, this is actually a review of it, and it's not a particularly good review. I mean, it doesn't say it's a terrible game, don't buy it. It just says it doesn't always make sense because it's, in a way, this reviewer describes it as 2 games stitched together. So you've got some of the combat stuff as one part, and then you've got a bunch of story stuff, where it essentially it gives you a list of options. You're going through dialogue with characters, and it's giving you a list of options of how to respond. This is not unusual. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3, which was huge a couple of years ago and is still pretty popular now, does a lot of the same thing. How the story unravels for your character varies sometimes wildly based on your dialogue choices. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch how this goes over. I think the ultimate test will be to look at it in 3 months and see how many people are still playing it at that point. It will be interesting to see if anybody, if enough people like it, because one of the selling points of a game like this with the dynamic social stuff is replayability. Because if you make you start with a different mindset with a different character, and you can end up in a very different place by the end of the game by making different dialogue choices than you made the first time through. So it ends up the replayability ends up being a big deal, and it means people will keep coming back to it, which means that even if it doesn't do well initially, if it does have that replayability, it will pick up steam later. People will, its popularity will build through word of mouth, and in some cases, like I said, through Twitch and through streamers continually playing it over and over again and having different experiences with the same game. So I think it will be interesting to watch. I think the initial reaction is not super stellar, but it's the kind of game that might grow on you, especially if you're into, like, vampires and goth shit. It could be fun. I'm not sure. I'm the kind of guy that I'm not going to buy it right away anyway, but I'm not ruling out the possibility of picking it up 6 months or a year down the road just to see what it really looks like, because I'll watch people streaming it too now and see how people are reacting to it, see how it replays essentially.
Okay.
Sounds cool though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it should be fun. Like I said, especially if you're into vampires and stuff, which I kind of am. So
Not sparkly though.
no, absolutely not.
No.
Zero sparkle.
All righty. Well, this is kind of an interesting development. Film is Fabulous, which is a charitable trust archivist, is hinting that certain private collections that may or may not be available to them, there's apparently some legal challenges involving this, may contain lost episodes of Doctor Who.
Oh.
There are so many things that were taped over.
Yeah, they say over 90 original episodes were erased because they reused the tape. And this experts confirmed that at least one missing episode is identified in a large newly accessed archive. Okay, a quote from Film is Fabulous. This is from John Franklin. He says, "We are aware of several collectors, plural, with several episodes of Doctor Who that are missing from the archive, plural, that are in private collections with former industry professionals. We are aware of those, and we are actively discussing their whole collections. We're not going to just take the Doctor Who or the other rare bits they have. We are talking about the whole collections coming in, being cataloged, being managed in the way that we manage everything." So I hope that is a positive that your listeners take out of this. So this could be an interesting development.
Another one we'll have to keep an eye on.
Yep.
I like that.
That's cool.
It is.
Be
Of
interesting
course,
to see how they were preserved.
right. Exactly.
What quality they are.
Well, I mean, if they're private collections, they're probably as well as preserved as they could have for the time. I would think.
I mean, my concern is more for the medium itself than
True.
for how well it's been kept.
True.
Because some of those old films are not necessarily chemically stable in some cases.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yep, should be interesting.
Any special shout-outs or mentions this week?
No, not me.
Not here.
Okay. Well, we'll go on to our regular shout-outs. Want to thank Pop Goes Culture for allowing us to be part of a great little podcast network. Excuse me. Recommend that you check them out. There'll be a link in the show notes. We also want you to check out the fine folks on Twitter who spread the word of the fellowship. They're better known as Podern Family, and the best way to find them is to do a search, hashtag Podern Family, all one word. Just scroll through and whatever catches your eye. We hope you have a good time listening to them. I want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying the music to the podcast. In our show notes, you'll be able to click on a link and check out some of the other music. And you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. The best way to reach out to us is email at fellowshipofthegeeks.net. That is our email address. Or you can go to the website, go to the About Us page, and there's a contact form that you can fill out there if you wish. I believe I mentioned Discord earlier. We do have a Discord that's open for anybody to join us. There is an open invite. Sorry. Starting to have issues speaking right now, which is not good. Open invite on our homepage. Discord is free to sign up. It's free in the App Store. What we do is we post a lot of news items there, stuff to discuss, stuff to laugh at, stuff, music to listen to. We'll have some activities like movie night or whatever there. So if you want to come hang out with us, by all means, come join us today. Social media, we're on Facebook, The Fellowship of the Geeks. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky as @FellowshipGeeks. If you'd like to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found @MikeyGeek. Liz can be found @LN_geek. Les may or may not be found @FakeLesWebster. And I can be found @TomTCGeek. And from wherever you download our episodes, if you'd be so kind as to rate and review the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate the support as always. Until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook @The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter @FellowshipGeeks. Until next time,